On this installment of Resilience Toolbox, our guest is Katie Wrigley. She's a Level 2 Cognomovement practitioner and founder of The Pain Changer. We're spotlighting Cognomovement, a transformative tool which can calm the nervous system, allow better sleep, reduce stress, and promote the ability to focus at a much higher level. Katie, welcome to Resilience Toolbox.
Thank you, David. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, let's just get started with some background. How did you get involved with the first responder community?
So it was just over a year ago now that I had my first opportunity to get in front of one of the law enforcement agencies near me. A woman, Jo Friedman, who's really well known in Maine with law enforcement. She's a mental health liaison, had me come in to present to everybody in the agency. And then after that, a couple of the officers came in, had amazing results, started talking about it more, and then more and more officers started to come in after that. So that was initially how I got my introduction into the first responder community.
Tell us a little bit about Cognomovement. How does it work?
So Cognomovement is actually really cool. So it starts with this ball here, which is specifically designed. People are like, oh, it's a soccer ball. It is, but it's a specially designed soccer ball. So the ball itself is designed to activate both hemispheres of the brain. The left side likes the shapes and the colors. The right side can tell that this is a 3D object in time and space. Through a series of cross-body movements like this and eye movements, which is similar to EMDR, we're actually going directly into the neurology of the body. And this is important because only about 10% of what we do in a day is conscious. The other 90% is subconscious, and your neurology is tracking all of that. So as we're able to focus on a physical sensation, maybe it's one that's attached to I can't sleep well, or I'm frustrated, or I'm stressed, you let yourself focus on that physical sensation as we're doing the session, and it's able to pull it out of the neurology and shift it. So that's basically what it does in a nutshell.
And you mentioned sleep in passing, and that's an epidemic problem for first responders. Does it have any beneficial effect on people's ability to sleep better?
That's the number one reason that officers have come to me, is to be able to sleep better. And one of the things that I've noticed with officers, and I believe other first responders as well, but law enforcement's what I've worked with the most so far, is they're really, really good at pushing things down. So a lot of times they don't even know why they can't sleep or what's keeping them awake. And some of that is the cumulative stress of being on the job, that the nervous system starts to boot up as we're trying to go to bed at night. What's great is even without knowing what it is particularly, we can actually still have that person get a good night's sleep. And there was one person in particular that was actually measuring their sleep. We almost doubled their sleep score. And it took a little while to even out, because any one session will make changes in the neurology for 6 weeks. But after about 3 weeks, it stabilized about 30, 40 points higher on his sleep score than it was initially, and he only did 2 sessions with me. So that was incredible progress for very, very little bit of time doing Cognomovement.
So what are some of the ways that Cognomovement works differently than other modalities?
No one has to tell me what's going on. You don't have to talk about anything. You don't even have to tell me what we're working on. I just need to have some descriptive words about what you're feeling, meaning the sensation, not your emotions. You don't even have to go into emotions. But is it heavy or light? Is it dull or sharp? Does it have a color? Does it have a shape? Those are weird questions, but when you're checking in with your body, you actually find that sometimes, yes, it does have a color or a shape. So the person is really focusing their attention on that in the neurology. It's very gentle with the way that it works. I've had some people who have tried EMDR, and EMDR felt like too much. And this, they've reported, has been gentle and seems to go deeper into the nervous system than EMDR can do. I'm just speaking to that anecdotally. I've heard many amazing things about EMDR. It's an awesome practice. This is just what people have reported in there. But the fact that they don't have to tell me anything, so they don't have to go in there and be vulnerable. Like there could be some sort of energetic release. It could come out in the form of an emotion. And a lot of people want to fight that as well. As long as you're in that feeling, that's all I need you to do, and to watch the ball. So that's one of the big things there. It's going into the neurology. I don't know any other modality that's going in the way that Cognomovement does. And so it's allowed us to get results where other things may have actually failed or not been as successful as we would have hoped they would be. So it's really working with the body. It also activates all three learning centers: auditory, visual, kinesthetic. That's important is because when we activate all three learning centers, we're going to make that learning stickier. And because we're also creating a new neural pathway in the brain at the same time, the body is going to more easily reorganize itself under that new neural pathway because of that learning center activation. And I don't know of any other modality that does things just quite like that.
So tell us, what are some of the advantages of Cognomovement that benefit first responders?
You can get results pretty quickly. The fact that you don't have to tell me what's going on, you don't even have to know yourself what's going on. And even without a sensation in the physical body, if we just do that piece that we call the infinity that I was just showing a moment ago with the eyes, which in a real session, we're going much slower than this, but just being willing to just work on the eyes, we can improve athletic performance, we can improve sleep, we can improve interpersonal relationships. And this is because if we get all of those muscles in the eyes to relax, which actually cues the nervous system that it can relax. And so when the nervous system stands down, it suddenly opens up all these other elements that weren't available before because the nervous system was in such a state of fight or flight, constantly searching for danger out there. You take that away, and suddenly you're able to connect with your spouse a lot more. You're able to put your phone down, put work behind you, and play with your kids. You're able to actually fall asleep that night. You're able to stay asleep. And so there's little pieces like that we see, but that's been one of the big things that, again, that I've heard from officers is they like that they don't have to talk. They don't have to tell me anything. They don't have to share anything. They don't have to be vulnerable. Some of them want to, but for the most part, officers are pretty tough and they don't want to show that, especially with someone new on a first meeting. So having that has been a huge advantage, that they just have to follow the ball. Like there's been multiple sessions. I have no idea what the person worked on, but they felt an improvement afterwards, and that's all I need.
Katie, how can people find you out there, and do you have any offers?
You can go to katiewrigley.com. That's KATIEWRIGLEY.com. And if you wait a moment, there will be a pop-up on there and you can get a free anxiety hack. So it is a short video using Cognomovement concepts. It's less than 5 minutes. And clients have reported that it's cut their anxiety in half or even a little bit more within that 5 minutes. So that's my gift to anybody listening. Go out there, grab that anxiety hack, help yourself in the moment to be able to calm down, and you'll be able to use those principles again on your own, even without watching the video.
Katie, thank you so much for joining us today on Resilience Toolbox and for sharing this important information. We'd like to wish you continued success.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you for having me. It's been an honor to be on here.